Hi, it's Gerry again, and welcome to day 35 of A Course in Miracles. For today's lesson, I had to focus on the phrase, "My mind is part of God's. I am very holy." So what I was to do, again, 3 5-minute meditation times, saying this phrase with my eyes closed and searching, and searching my mind for terms that describe me. So the ones that describe me well, or that describe me in a positive way, were easy. So I see myself as kind, but my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. The positive ones were easy. They didn't disturb me at all. It felt really good to say those. However, I'm not always kind. Sometimes I'm selfish. So I see myself as selfish. But my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. That caused a little bit of dissonance. But the second part is true. My mind is part of God's. I am part of God's creation. I am a child of God. I am a sacred child of God. Jesus is my brother. Jesus came to live with us. Jesus became a man. So that statement is true. My mind is God's mind. God lives in my mind. I think the issue is more that I don't always live up to that message, that truth. And I think that's the challenge, to live up to that, to be like God. Now that said, I think this message is very consistent with the message of Christ when he came, because he told his followers, and the early Christians passed the message on to those who were slaves in the Roman Empire, that they are sacred children of God. They are God's sacred people. And I think that's one of the things that really upset the Romans, because they didn't want their slaves thinking that they were great and empowered people, that they were holy people with God's mind. But that was Jesus' message, and that is Jesus' message to us. And that's the ideal that we strive to live up to. And even if we don't live up to that ideal, we are still God's sacred children. So I'm, again, not 100% sure of where this is going, but the message that I got is indeed, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And that is a beautiful, beautiful message. And my perception now is that I need to live up to that ideal, because I really do believe that God is alive in my mind. My mind is God's mind. I am very holy. And that is the challenge for me as a person to live up to. But it's a beautiful message. It's a beautiful ideal to strive for. And we do become what we think about. So if I think about God, and think about serving God, and loving God, and seeing humanity the way that God sees humanity, I am indeed holy. So, that's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much for joining me on day 35 of A Course in Miracles. I hope that my reflections are on track, but nonetheless, they are my reflections. That's where I'm at right at this moment on day 35. So that's just where things are. And I want to conclude once again, as always, by saying thank you so much, people. You people are all over the world, and you're joining me on this journey, and I am just so honored, so thrilled that you're joining me. And I pray that God blesses you abundantly, and I look forward to our conversation tomorrow.